Mahomes is such a great athlete that if he doesn't have a top five wide receiver, you might
Right.
not notice because of how good of a player he
Yeah.
is.
Well, he didn't have a top five wide receiver the 2 years he won the
No,
Super Bowl, right? Kadarius
I,
Tony, MVS. I mean, like
I
they
don't
had
know
good.
that. I don't know. You could say he had a top 30 wide receiver. It's I.
I know. You're
It's true
serious.
though.
You're serious.
I'm
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
serious though. Welcome back to the Kingdom Corner. We are your hosts. This is Dale and I'm Andrew, and we are. I don't even know what we're going to be looking at as far as the games go because I don't know if these games matter that much anymore, Dale. But before we jump too far into it, we want to make sure we remind you. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a comment and review. This helps us so much more than you know. We truly, truly appreciate all of you guys listening in and every week and every or twice a week even and
Yeah, yeah.
commenting on all these things. So we appreciate all you guys and you listening in. So, well, with that said, Dale, what is there to talk about the Chiefs?
There's a ton to talk about the Kansas
There
City
is.
Chiefs. But the good news is you everyone got their Christmas Day back to spend with their family and friends and to really celebrate the true meaning of Christmas, which is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because the
That's right.
Chiefs game does not matter to watch, and so you don't have to be stressed out or to build your day around Christmas Day. Now, for all those Chiefs
That's
fans
right.
that got tickets on Christmas Day, we apologize. Uh,
Hey,
but hey,
I,
the weather's going to be super nice, so there you go. It's going to be a good time. Make memories, enjoy Arrowhead as long as we still have it, and it'll be fantastic. So yeah,
man, there's a lot of little daggers in that short little sentence you had there, Dale. But
you know,
but hey, I'll say this. Even though yes, the games do not matter anymore for the
yeah,
Chiefs this year because they can't make the playoffs,
right.
I'm still gonna watch the games.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just
No,
am.
I
I'm too
who
big of a fan not to watch these games and to be a part of them. So
yeah.
I understand that there's a lot of bandwagon fans who do not remember what it was like when the Chiefs only won two, four, 6 games a year.
Right.
But you and I, we remember those years quite well.
Yeah.
Uh, and we lived through them and you know what? We survived. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I never thought that as a Chiefs fan, we would be in the position we are now, where we go to 5 of 6 Super Bowls and win 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, I was reflecting on as a Chiefs fan, right? In the last 30 plus years as a Chiefs fan, I guess, as I can remember, let's
Yeah,
go 1990 to present
yeah.
as a Chiefs fan. So 6 years old, rocking and rolling. Um, I guess, would you rather be in a position where, like in the 90s, they were really good, they like had promise, but they would get exited out of the first round? Or would you rather be like right now where you're like, okay, we're really good, we just had a bad year, like it's fine, right? So, I mean, like there's like that definitely varies there in the sense of like, okay, we just need to fix a few things and we'll be back. At least I believe so. I don't know. The rest of the media seems like the Chiefs are done. They're never going to win a game again and things like that. But I think you fix a few things, and with 1-5 back there, hey, we're going to be all right. Or would you like, hey, we're 10-7, we make the playoffs, but guess what? We get booted the first round.
Yeah. Well, first off, you asked me about 5 questions in that.
Well,
So,
I know I got a lot of. You said what's there to talk about? I got a
no,
lot. Yeah,
there is a lot to talk about. I was
yeah,
just playing it up a little bit, I guess. But I will say that I would much rather be in the position we are now than being very
right,
good and winning or and then losing in the first round of the playoffs every year. Because where we are now, yes, we are having a down year where we're not even going to make the playoffs.
right.
But I do not believe this is the end of it. Now, I will say, do I think there's more than one thing that the Chiefs need to address? Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely, they do. They need to have, there's a lot of positions they need to address. They need to look at that offensive line. And if they're all healthy, you know, that might be a solidified position. But right now, do we have, I mean, solid backups that can come in there and not get hurt as well, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And some of that's just fluky stuff that's just, it is what it is certain years.
Right.
Now, do we have a need for a running back? Absolutely. Do we have a need for a legitimate number one wide receiver who can high point a ball? Absolutely. Do you have a
Yeah.
need for a safety who can lead that secondary to be great? Absolutely. Do we have a need for a great pass rusher who can consistently get pressure? Absolutely. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
4 or 5 positions right there that we absolutely need to
yeah,
look at and potentially address even. So
yeah.
yes, there's a lot that needs to happen, but let's not act like Chiefs fans that we're not fans anymore because our team didn't make the playoffs one year.
Right.
I've seen even before the announcement for the Chiefs moving that Chiefs fans were like, I don't even know why I'm a fan anymore. The Chiefs can't even make the playoffs. And I'm thinking, who are we as fans if after
Right.
1 year of not
Yeah.
making the Super Bowl, and hear that again, 1 year of not making the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship game, we're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done with this team.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you were never really a fan.
No. You enjoyed the parades and enjoyed the just them winning, but yeah, they're not a true fan. So yeah, you gotta go with fandom. You're in the thick of it. You are in the highs and the lows. And so yeah, right now we're in a low. But there's always hope. There's always, the draft and the free agency gets everyone excited. I mean, you think about every team in the beginning of the year at training camp. I mean, legitimately, every team thinks they can win the Super Bowl that year, And so, yeah, I think we are in that, and we'll be feeling that as well. I mean, like the left tackle for the Cleveland Browns, Joe Thomas, who is probably the best left tackle of all time.
Yeah.
He was like in an interview. He said he thought every year they could win the Super Bowl in training camp, and so like just even beyond the Cleveland Browns that has 40 different quarterbacks the last decade or two decades, and so yeah, it's pretty wild to think about. But yeah, we are in not a rebuild, but just a pause. We're just taking the season
We're
off,
just rebooting is all it is, right?
rebooting. There you go. Yeah,
Shutting it down and starting the program over again, but basically with the same pieces that are already there.
yeah.
So, but yeah, and let's address the Titans game and look forward to
Okay. Yeah.
the Denver game on Christmas Day a little bit too, and then we'll jump into some of these other things. But what were your overall thoughts on this Titans game? The Chiefs drop it. I mean, the Titans easily could have scored over 30, and they barely
Yeah.
didn't, only because
Right.
something got called back. And the Chiefs, don't even put up 10 points.
No. Yeah. Well, and I think there's a lot of different like a lot of thoughts were like, man, I was sad. Not because we lost, because I knew we were going to lose. I knew we had the potential of
Yeah,
losing, I guess. But I was sad for like Gardner Minshew, who, gets hurt, ACL, right?
yeah,
And same thing Mahomes. So maybe a little different, but I was sad, really sad for Travis Kelce. Like legitimately, I not say broke my heart, but like it was hard to watch.
yeah,
And like one of the greatest tight ends ever. Or you can make the debate, one of the greatest tight ends ever. And you hope that he doesn't retire at the end of the year because that is this not how a champion like Travis Kelce should leave the game. But it's a possibility, which is super sad to think about. Like, man, his last games are just garbage
yeah,
because there's, no hope
yeah.
this year.
Well, and when I saw the injury report come out before the game, and even
No.
they ruled several people out a day or two before the game, when they
Yeah.
put that out there that all these guys are going to be out, no Rasheed Rice, no tackles for either position still out with injuries.
Yeah.
Trent McDuffie's still out. I mean,
Yeah.
just player after player after player who are key players in our team are not in there. And obviously Mahomes is out too. And then you have Gardner
Hmm.
Minshew. And I still thought, well, we might not win, but Gardner Minshew will at least, sling the ball around and give us
Right.
a good chance if the guys can catch it and not throw interceptions too. And then when he went down and the third string guy came in, Curse Oladokin, I thought, all right, there's no hope to win this game. And I'm not trying to poke fun or to say that Oladokin can't be a good athlete. He's a much better athlete than I'll even dream of being.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But by NFL standards and NFL starting quarterback standards, he's never even broken onto an active roster until this week, and now he's thrown into a game. And
Hmm.
then, in the first drive, maybe it's the second drive of the Chiefs, Gardner Minshew goes down with the ACL injury, and now
Yeah.
this guy's thrown in there, and it's just asking a lot for a guy who has no NFL regular season experience.
Right. And I think like the other big thing from the game Sunday was the fact of like how much I think we kind of hit on this a couple weeks early, but is how much 1-5 covers up Brett Veach's decisions.
Yeah, I even sent you a message during the game and I said,
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. And
I
I
should.
truly
Yeah,
meant that because during the game, you're
yeah,
watching how that game's unfolding. Patrick Mahomes had a very similar cast in the first few weeks because remember,
yep,
Rashee Rice was out with suspension. Xavier Worthy got hurt on the
right.
first possession of the NFL season. And so both those two guys, his top two wide receivers, were out. And we had all these other injuries piling up at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Chris Jones had not found his groove yet.
You had a
And
new left
yet,
tackle, a new left guard that you were trying to learn and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And even with all that, Mahomes was winning some of those games, and the ones he wasn't winning, he was there at the end to win it.
Yep.
And if his
Right.
guys could have caught the ball for him, he might have won the games.
Yeah.
But you're just looking at how much Mahomes overcomes for all the insufficiencies of these other guys. And again, I'm not trying to kick somebody while they're down. These guys are great athletes too,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but Mahomes is such a great athlete that if he doesn't have a top five wide receiver, you might
Right.
not notice because of how good of a player he
Yeah.
is.
Well, he didn't have a top five wide receiver the 2 years he won the
No.
Super Bowl, right? Kadarius
I
Tony, MVS. I mean, like
I
they
don't
had
know
good.
that I don't know you could say he had a top 30 wide receiver. It's I
I know, I know. You're
it's true
serious.
though.
You're serious.
I'm
Yeah,
dead
yeah,
serious though. I
yeah.
don't think he did.
So yeah, I definitely think that was like one of the shocking things. I think was kind of like we were hitting around was that like yeah I don't know like we've said on this podcast several times. I've said at least I've said in Brett Veach we trust, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of I think 1-5 covers up a ton of his errors or mistakes, and so yeah, definitely I
Yeah.
think we're seeing the true Brett Veach roster.
Well, and that's I've been on that same boat with you two before. I
Yeah,
said in Brett Veach we trust. And I brought up a few weeks ago, I don't know, maybe halfway through this season, I
yeah,
even started questioning, is Brett Veach really as good as everybody thinks he is? And as good as
right,
I think he is, because I thought he was really good.
yeah,
And I thought he was the top or at least top three general managers in the NFL is putting together rosters. And now I don't know if he's top 15. So
yeah,
and no, maybe that's yet to be seen exactly who he is, but I know that he's rebuilt the offensive line twice in 1 year and has done a great job in doing
yeah,
that. He's very good, and his scouts are very good at finding cornerbacks late in the draft that end up
yep.
being good. But if you're only good at two positions, that's not really a good thing if you're the GM.
No, no, and like yeah, that I mean like a lot of the talks, I mean they sound crazy to me. Like trading Trent McDuffie, like they did with Snead, like franchise tagging him and then trade him to the highest bidder,
Well,
which I don't know what you think about, but
I'm on record. I think I said 2 or 3 weeks ago that I'm in favor of trading Trent McDuffie.
yeah,
And not because I don't think he's a great player. I just truly don't know that we can afford him because of how much we're
yeah,
paying everybody else.
yeah,
And if you
we're
can't afford him, he's going to end up walking. You're going to get nothing in return. So you might as well try to get something in return.
get some draft picks. I like it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think so.
And
And then
again,
he's
I'm not
he's a
for
great
trading
player.
him. I'm not for
Yeah.
trading him, but I just think because of the position we're in with all of our contracts, we almost have to.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's gonna be a wild off season for the
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs because number
Yeah.
one, I think you reported that we have like 35 guys on the active roster next year, and we're like $35 million over the draft or the
I
sal
know.
sal dead.
It's over 100 million over the
Okay,
draft.
well,
So
like under the cap, and so that's problematic right there.
yeah.
So what does a team carry? 53, and then they have the
53 on your
yeah.
active roster plus your 10 or
Prac
whatever it is on your practice squad. They changed a few years ago. It used to be like 6 or 8, and now I think it's like 10 or 12 on the practice
Oh
squad.
yeah, the good old COVID
Yeah,
helped
they
us change
changed a
that.
lot
So
of that.
yeah,
So
so yeah, like that definitely is going to be an interesting offseason for the Kansas City Chiefs and how they're gonna get
yeah,
underneath the cap and all that. So
yeah. And I don't know if there's much else to report on this Titans game. It was ugly from the beginning to the end.
yeah,
The Chiefs didn't look good. Their defense has some great plays that they
oh
did.
yeah,
Defense still looks sharp, but as we've been talking about the last few weeks, the offense is the part that's struggling. The defense has played well enough this year to make it to the playoffs and
yeah,
to even potentially be in contention for the Super Bowl. They played
right,
well enough. I'm not saying they played great, but they played well enough.
yeah. You need a
It's
top
yeah, it's
top 10.
better. Yeah, top 10, sure.
Okay.
It's better than the 2019 team that did win the Super Bowl.
Right. I think
That
they were like the
defense
first
is
team to win a Super. I think maybe the second team. I think Peyton Manning did it with the Colts, but I think he was like the second person to win a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense in that.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you got to fact check me on that, but yeah. Uh yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting the next year, the next couple weeks as Chiefs fans.
Yeah. So
So,
so as we go into this Christmas Day game against the Denver Broncos have already secured a playoff spot, and they haven't quite secured even the division yet because the Chargers are right there with them. But
yeah.
if they win this week and the Chargers lose, and they might only have to win anyways, but they could potentially secure up the AFC West, and they're close to securing up the number one seed in the AFC playoffs too.
Yeah.
So. And now the Chiefs going in, and now Gardner Minshew has his ACL torn as well, just like Mahomes did, or similar injury at least.
Uh-huh.
And so the Chiefs go out and they sign Shane Buechele from the Buffalo Bills practice squad. As Chiefs fans might remember,
Yeah.
Shane Buechele was on the Chiefs roster for several years. They drafted him, I believe, out of SMU, if I remember right. If it or maybe it was uh, oh, what's that? North Dallas,
Didn't.
uh,
Didn't. North Texas.
North Texas. Yeah, it might have been North Texas. Uh,
There you go.
it's somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but he came out of one of those colleges,
Uh-huh.
either North Texas or SMU, I believe. And he was on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs really liked him, but they just, he wasn't good enough to beat out Chad Henne or whoever the backup was those
Right.
years he was there. And that was the year the Buffalo Bills had some injuries with quarterbacks, and so they picked up Shane Buechele off the Chiefs practice squad and brought him to the Bills, and he's been with them a lot. And so now the Chiefs pick him back up because he's someone who at least somewhat knows their system, and will be a backup potentially for Chris Oladokun. But I could also foresee him starting or at least coming into the game if Oladokun doesn't play well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, and it'll be interesting to see what they do at the running back position this game. Are they going to try to get some of the young guys in, like Smith and Damian Pierce, and I guess he's not young, but we really haven't seen him on the field. Does Kareem Hunt need to have the ball that many times? I don't know. Or Pacheco, kind of know what they are, but I think that kind of
Yeah.
Damian Pierce and um, Smith would be interesting to see. Then I think one of the weirdest things that came out last week before the game was they released Elijah Mitchell. They
Yeah.
waived him.
It's
That
It's
is,
just so crazy that whole story and what was going. I'm almost sure there had to be more going on there than what we know.
oh yeah, definitely. Because he wasn't a bad player for the 49ers. He was a pretty good
Right.
player. And then it was like he just couldn't get on the field and then they waive him.
I will say the times he did get on the field with the Chiefs, he did not make any explosive plays. Now,
No.
and I will, in his defense, he didn't have the opportunity hardly at all to make explosive play because he
Yeah.
only got touched the ball probably less than 5 times all year.
Yeah.
And so,
It's that. I think he got thrown. I know he got thrown to once and it was picked.
yeah.
It was a badly, terrible, under really thrown ball. But yeah, it's just,
So
anyway, it's
so
very
maybe it's only
curious.
like twice that he got his hands on the ball,
Yeah.
but it wasn't much. And you can't expect the guy with only 2 touches to make an explosive play. So there just seems to be a lot more
Yeah.
going on there. But to your question too about this last game and even going into this game, how much should we see some of these rookies and young guys? How much
Yeah.
playing time should we give them to see what we got? Should we treat this more like a preseason game, or should we keep trying to play to win?
Yeah, I think you treat it as, I mean, for me, I know it's going to be hard to get that message across to the players because I know like Travis Kelce, Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, they're fired up. They want to win, right? They want to compete.
Yeah.
So I think you do have to, and that's what you're doing at this level. You're competing. I think it'd be hard to get them to rally around like, hey, we're going to treat this, you're going to play the first quarter, and then these other guys are going to come in. I think it's going to be hard to get, buy-in on that. And so,
Well,
um,
and I'll say this before you go on. I fully appreciate that they can't get buy-in on that because
yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah,
you don't want guys who are willing to just say, "Yeah, let's go ahead and just treat it like a
yeah.
preseason game." You want guys who are competitors, and if you have guys on your team who are willing to do that, you don't want them on your team
No,
because you want guys who are going to be competing to the very last drop, whether they have a chance or not. You want those competitors in your locker room and on your team, and so we do not want to see these players just give up either. So I'll say, as much as I want to see a some of these guys get at least some chances and looks, I
Right.
still want them to win games.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
fan.
Well, and I think like I think I looked it up yesterday, or someone told me it was like we right now, if we where we're at right now, we get the 15th pick, and so there are some bottom feeders in this league right now. Like I think it's the Titans now; they are the 8th pick, and they have 3 wins. So that kind of
Yeah,
tells you like what's going on in the league in the sense of like I don't know how much we could really improve our draft pick in that. And so yeah, I definitely think, but I do like the idea of mixing in some of these young guys and kind of seeing what they are and what they have as a fan. Like Jalen Royals, the Brashard, the Damian Pierce, like just to kind of see what he is. Because I was watching a video on YouTube, you know, one of those deep dives where you just start watching things, and then it was showing like Chiefs clips of the offensive line and like showing the holes and where the running back should run. And like we've talked about, we have a running back that's not quick enough to hit the hole, and then we have a running back that
yeah,
can't find the hole. But
yeah,
they're like they are NFL holes that you know that could should get big chunks. And so I don't really think it's. I think it's the running back room that we have, you know, a
yeah.
problem
It's not the
with.
O line room; it's the running back
Yeah,
room.
and
Yeah,
so, yeah,
I
definitely
I
like to see
agree.
some of that. Yeah, definitely like to see some of that and see if they can fix some of that. But yeah, it'll be, and then always, if we could beat the Denver Broncos,
I know. I
that
would.
would be glorious.
I just do not want to be swept by the Denver Broncos. I know it's happened before, but it hasn't
Yeah,
happened in like 11 years or something like that we've been swept by them.
yeah,
Maybe even longer. I can't remember exactly, but it's been a long time. And so I would love to not be able to be swept by the Denver Broncos.
right.
But I'll clarify one thing. If the season ended today, the Chiefs would have the 12th or the
Oh,
13th pick, depending
okay.
on how some tiebreakers went.
All
If
right.
the Chiefs didn't win any more games and some other teams potentially won, the Chiefs could end up with a top 10 pick.
Okay. Pat Mahomes. We can
So,
get the next Pat Mahomes.
well, would you want them to draft another quarterback, or you're saying the Patrick Mahomes of that
Oh, the Patrick
position?
Mahomes. The last time we drafted in the top 10 was when we got Patty. And
That's right.
so
That's
if
right.
we could draft
That number's in.
a player of the same caliber. But yeah, the Broncos, like, listen, the Broncos, you got to tip their hat to them, right? They're winning games. Their
Yep,
defense
they
is
are.
amazing. They're doing good. But you can't look me in the eye and tell me you think Bo Nix can win you a championship. There's no way. I don't believe it. I just don't believe anybody can tell me Bo Nix can win you a championship because the only time he can make a complete pass is he's rolling to his right.
So,
And you know, and he can't sit in the pocket. I mean, now he can, but not consistently, right? And so, like,
yeah,
obviously, he's a good enough athlete and a good enough quarterback to make those throws, but not consistently. And you see, like, and Sean McVay, or not Sean McVay, Sean Payton, whether you like him or not, is a good coach, and he knows that okay, we have to get him moving to complete balls because of that baseball background and all that. So it's like, okay, well,
yeah.
and then I just don't think. And yeah, he keeps
Well,
doing
and,
it,
and I'll
but
say something to the Chiefs defense credit. We gave them a lot of flack, and rightfully so, for not being able to pressure the quarterback for like 3 games straight.
yeah, right,
And they deserved all the things that came out of them for that. And they have created more pressure since we've talked about that than they
yeah,
have all season. And some of it is just good blitzes, and some of it is just some of these guys are stepping up a little bit more. But either way, and it's more so blitzes than anything. But either way, these blitzes are actually starting to get home now, whereas
right,
before, even when we did blitz, they were not. And so, and even with a guy like Bo Nix, though, if you're in the NFL and a quarterback and you have time, it doesn't matter if you roll it or not. Eventually, you're going to be able to make that throw.
right,
You and I can make a 5 yard throw in the NFL if we had all the time in the world. I'm
yeah,
not. We can't make a 20 yard throw. I mean, we could probably
yeah,
throw it that far, but just
yeah,
because of how the cornerbacks play, just it would float in the air too long if we were doing
yeah,
it. But
oh yeah,
5 yards, I can make a 5 yard throw in the NFL if I had 30 seconds. So no,
easy peasy,
that'd be a crazy amount of time. But
yeah,
if I knew I had that kind of time and I could just take my time, eventually someone's going to get open.
right. Keep patting
So
that ball. Find 8-7 in
that's right.
the yeah. So
So if you don't think that Bo Nix can win you a championship, where do you think he ranks this year amongst the quarterbacks? Where would
yeah,
you place him?
I outside the top 10, probably the 15, 16,
All right. So you're saying he is about average at best.
average at best. I think that
All
defense
right.
is really carrying the team. I think he does make some timely throws. The running game isn't all that spectacular, and so I just think, yeah, like, and also the Denver Broncos. I think like that's the scary thing for the Kansas City Chiefs is they are just going to get better, right? And I don't think Sean Payton, he is pretty gruff guy. If he can find a better quarterback, he will, and he will go
Yeah.
after him. And so I think, yeah, and the Chargers, they're going to get better. The Raiders probably gonna get worse. So not really worried about the Raiders, but like it
Yeah.
is like saying as a Chiefs fan, you're like, okay, now we are going to be fighting for this division quite a bit. So,
So of the current AFC teams that
uh-huh.
could potentially make the playoffs, who would you want to win the Super Bowl, or who would you be all right with? I know we've talked about it a little bit before, but now we kind of get
Yeah.
a little bit clearer of a picture. So right now, as it stands, these are the AFC teams: the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Bills. So those are the teams
Yeah.
that have secured a spot, I should say. And then you got the ones who are still in contention are the Steelers, and the Texans are the ones who would do it if it ended today.
Yeah. And I think the Texans are probably the team that I look at and be like, yeah, that team could win a Super Bowl with their defense. And I think it all depends on how CJ Stroud plays. Is if he can play just good enough.
So you would say that you'd want the Texans to win of all those teams if you had to pick an
Yeah,
AFC
and then
team.
the Jaguars, then the Jaguars.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
would
my
pick the
because
Jaguars simply because the Jaguars have never been there,
yeah,
never won a championship. Now the Texans haven't either, so I'd be all right with that too. I just, as we've talked about before, I just don't want the Bills. I mean,
yeah.
we're at, and if we're
The
being
Bills
honest,
or the
we're
Broncos or the Patriots. I mean, like
the
I wouldn't be mad about the Patriots, but I wouldn't, be love it either.
yeah, that's how I feel. I for sure do not want the Broncos. It doesn't matter who the Broncos are playing. I will cheer against the Broncos. I mean, I don't want the
Ugh.
Bills to win it, but I would cheer for the Bills over the Broncos because
Really?
oh, absolutely, I would. I
Okay.
don't think you understand how much I dislike the Broncos.
I don't like the Broncos, but it's not that I don't like this. I don't. Josh Allen's fine human and a fine person and a fine quarterback. I just don't like the fact that people compare him to 1-5,
Well,
and
I understand that and I agree with that.
yeah,
But 30 years from now, people are not going to be saying, and maybe they will, maybe not. They're not going to be saying, well, you remember that year that Josh Allen won the Super Bowl and Patrick
yeah,
Mahomes wasn't in the playoff. They're not going to be saying that. But
no,
30 years from now, Broncos fans will be saying, we have this many Super Bowls and you only have this many.
yeah, that is true.
And so it's just I, the rivalry with the Broncos is going to go on long after the
Oh
Chiefs
yeah,
and Bills rivalry is over,
yeah.
and so I do not want the Broncos to win, and so and I know a lot of Broncos fans, and if, they're
Oh
probably
yeah.
not listening to this, but if you are, it's nothing against you, or maybe it is, it is a little bit, but
Yeah.
I can't do the Broncos, so I really want an NFC team to win it as long as it's not the Eagles, because I cannot stand Nick Sirianni.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
So
So you
as
don't
long as
care
it's
for
not the Eagles, I don't
yeah.
care what NFC team wins it.
There you go. Yeah,
So
no, I'm fine with any NFC team. I have no real.
and honestly, I think an NFC team is going to win it because I think either the Seahawks or the Rams, I
Yeah,
think those two teams are the best two teams in the NFL, and it's unfortunate they're in the same division,
right.
but those are the two best teams in the NFL right now,
Yeah, yeah,
in my opinion. So, all
yeah.
right, well, let's talk about this other big thing coming up. So, there's not
All
much else
right.
to talk about with the Broncos game because we're going to have a third string, potentially a fourth string quarterback in there.
It's gonna be great when we beat them.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
It's
I
gonna
guess
be.
you can go ahead and give your score prediction if you'd like, if you got
Yeah.
a score prediction for that.
Yep. 38-9 Broncos.
All right. Well, I don't know what the spread is. I didn't even look it up, but I picked the Broncos no matter what the spread was. Uh, and I think it's going to be similar to that because I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to hardly move the ball. I
Yep.
think the Chiefs are going to end up with 6 points,
Okay.
two field goals. Uh, and I think the Broncos will probably end up with somewhere around 31 points.
Okay. There
So
you go.
not too far off from you, but just
Yeah.
a little bit lower scoring. Um, so I didn't do our pick six. I apologize about that. We'll
No, no,
we'll
that's
we'll we'll make up for that eventually.
yeah,
But but either way, uh, the Chiefs and Broncos are playing this Thursday. Sorry, guys, say that right. Almost said Sunday. This Thursday, Christmas Day, and so they'll be heading it off. And I know the Chiefs are wanting to become the Christmas Day team, kind of like the Lions and Cowboys
right.
are of the Thanksgiving Day. So we'll see. But the big thing we have to talk about is the Chiefs moving their stadium officially to Kansas. It's been reported, and Clark Hunt even put out a statement that they have come into an agreement with the state of Kansas and will be moving their team there in the 2031 season after their contract with the Jackson County Stadium there at Arrowhead is over, and so they're going to be building a new stadium in Kansas. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's I think when I text you the news, sent you the clip, you said I think you summed it up really well. Like it's surprising, but it's not surprising, right? And so
Yeah,
Jackson County, the county I'm from, I grew up, they had an opportunity to keep the Chiefs and the Royals both there, but they chose that's by their own choice. They chose not to do that, and now. I hate to see how what's going to happen of Kauffman and Arrowhead Stadium, you know. So
yeah.
hopefully someone buys it, and I guess the city would own or the county would own it, and then they could do whatever they
Yeah.
want, whether it's going to be concerts or venues or you know, yeah,
Well,
because
and the county owns it currently still. The
yeah,
Chiefs actually rent it from the county, so
right,
the Chiefs do not own it. And so that's why even to renovate, they have to get permission from the taxpayers to renovate a stadium that they do not own. And so they put out some plans last year to renovate the stadium in April. It was voted down by the taxpayers, and we're not here to get into the political side of that. You can make your own opinion on that.
right,
But it was voted down. And then a month or two later, the county commissioners, I believe it was, they had their own vote to help that was just for the Chiefs that time,
uh-huh,
to give them some more money to help renovate the stadium. And that was voted down as well. And so Jackson County basically voted down the Chiefs twice. And
yeah,
so people can make all the arguments they want about, well, the Chiefs shouldn't be leaving, the Chiefs shouldn't do whatever. Jackson County brought this on themselves. Whether you
right,
want to like that the Chiefs are moving to Kansas or not, Jackson County brought this on themselves by voting the Chiefs down
yeah,
and basically saying, we're not going to let you do anything to the stadium. And they say,
right.
well, if we can't do anything, we're going to look elsewhere. And there's a lot of talk that people were saying, well, the Chiefs are just using the state of Kansas to negotiate against Missouri. It's like, well, I guess you were wrong, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be a beautiful stadium. I think there's a lot of thoughts I have with like, I understand why they're making it a dome. I understand why they're less capacity. I mean, I get it because you want the experience. You want to be able to
yeah,
host a Super Bowl. You want to be able to do all
yeah,
these things. But I
yeah.
think you lose out being living in the Midwest.
Yeah,
And
well,
then, yeah,
let's start with the dome aspect, and we'll get to the
okay,
capacity. So, I understand why they wanted a dome because remember, I don't know how long ago it was now, but maybe 10, 12 years ago, there was a Super Bowl up in New York,
yep,
in a stadium that did not have a dome, and it was a sloppy game because the weather was bad. There was
right,
some rain or snow or something I remember on the ground, and it was not a fun game to watch. It was just so sloppy because of the conditions, and so.
yep,
Ever since then, the NFL is like, we're not going anywhere up north that has a potential for bad weather if it doesn't have a dome.
mm-hmm,
And so the Chiefs are like, okay, we want to host a Super Bowl, so we need a dome. So I
yep,
understand that. I hope that it's retractable. And the in Clark Hunt's statement, all he said was that it would be a dome. I hope it's a retractable dome because I do think the elements can play a huge factor
oh
and
yeah,
help the Chiefs team out a lot, especially as you pointed out earlier when we were talking, the Miami Dolphins coming up to Kansas City in negative 30-degree weather. That
yeah,
absolutely affects them.
yeah,
And so if you're playing in a dome in a controlled environment, you're taking away a huge aspect of your home crowd and home team, home stadium advantage.
yeah, definitely. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna look nice.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be state of the art. I mean, yeah, it'll be cool to be from Kansas City and be able to host a Super Bowl. Everyone coming to Kansas City to watch their team or the Chiefs win a Super Bowl.
That's right. That's right. So, and we've talked about before. Remember they have report cards on the NFL teams every year. They talk about the stadiums, the team
Yeah,
facilities, the training rooms, I mean, all the above, right? And
Yep.
the Chiefs are always voted very low on that. And I've even made the comment before, who are they asking? Are they asking guys like Mahomes and Kelce, or are they asking third string guys who are barely
Right.
on their roster, these things? But either way, the Chiefs, once again, they do not own those buildings. They cannot
Yep.
make improvements to things that they do not have permission to do. And now they're going to be able to build all those things brand new. And I am quite certain that all those report cards will go up because of all the things they'll be able to do in their new stadium.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So I mean, it really
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't live in Kansas City right now, so it doesn't affect me all that much, or
Yeah.
anything like that. But yeah, definitely sad for Jackson County and like some of those businesses that are by the stadium that will suffer from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And currently, Arrowhead can hold 76,000 people, almost 500, 76, 500. And Mark Donovan, the Chiefs team president, has reported that the new stadium will be somewhere around the 65 to 68,000 capacity.
Yeah, a lot of voices you're losing there, a lot of
Oh, yeah.
loudness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, the stadiums have changed so much to where it's an experience. So even if it's a bad game, you're still having a good time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, I just I hate that we're going to be losing seats simply because of whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if they're thinking, well, we're going to have more suites, so we'll take up more room,
Oh yeah.
and we'll make up the money that way. But it's not about the money for me. It's about the experience. It's about the fans being able to get into a stadium and watch the Chiefs play. And the more seats you have, the more opportunities fans have to go and enjoy that. And
Right.
I don't know if they're looking ahead and think, well, maybe when Patrick Mahomes retires, because remember, in 6 years, Patrick Mahomes is going to be 36 years old, potentially
Right.
towards the end of his career. And
Yeah.
maybe he'll have another couple years in him. I hope he does. I hope he plays till 40, but we'll see. Most quarterbacks retire, really good ones, around 35, 36 years old. And so we'll be towards the end of his career. And maybe they're thinking, well, maybe when he retires, we're not going to have as many fans.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thought is, but I don't like the thought. This is the big thing up to me. I have two big things, but the first big thing is I don't like that they're lowering the capacity of how many people can come into the stadium.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. Yeah. That definitely is not good.
yeah. And the other thing I don't like is, and this isn't for sure yet, but they've talked about for season ticket members, um, potentially adding what they call, I forget the exact name, is like PTLs or some kind of initials like that. It's basically you buy your season tickets and then you pay an additional cost to basically buy your seat in the stadium. And, for players like or stadiums like Las Vegas who have done this, they've charged even $40,000 in addition to your season tickets. And it's almost like you're trying to price out anybody who doesn't have a lot of money. Either
Yeah.
that or you're going to get everybody to go
It's
big
gonna
in
go
debt.
corporate. It's gonna go corporate. That's
It's
what they
a,
want. It's corporate money.
yeah. And
Like
I'm not
where.
saying they're
Yeah.
going to do that. I'm not saying that even if they do, it'll be $40,000, right? But
Right.
it's
Right. Right.
just,
Right.
I don't like the idea of it doing that and potentially just pushing out more fans and driving up the cost of these seats even more.
Yeah. No.
So, but
Hey, we're gonna enjoy Thursday night's game
that's right.
against the Denver Broncos. We're gonna see our Chiefs are gonna go out and ball out. They're gonna win. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be 38-9. It's gonna be 3-6 Chiefs.
There you go. There you
Old
go.
school.
I
Old school
like it.
game.
I like it. I like it a lot. Hey, and overall, it doesn't matter where the Chiefs play. If they're in the Kansas City Metroplex, it does not hurt anybody as much as
Yeah.
everybody thinks it does. The Chiefs are going to still draw in a lot of fans and people to the whole Metroplex, no matter what side of the
Yeah.
state line that they are on. So we'll be fans either way, no matter where they are in Kansas City. Also be lending my voice as much as I can
There you go.
to that cause, and hopefully you will be too. So, hey, but thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. We're so glad you came here to join us. Tell us what your thoughts are on the Chiefs for the rest of this season. Maybe what your thoughts are on this new stadium. And anything else you have for us, leave us a comment, and we'll be sure to look at those and respond to those we can too as well. So, this episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads. You can get your own super soft tee, hoodie, or even your hat at ohheythreads.com, and of where a portion of every purchase goes to support missions all over the world. So we'll see you next time right here in the